Okay, lesson 3, evaluating algebraic expressions. So our goal is to evaluate algebraic expressions. Just a reminder, an expression is a combination of numbers, variables, and operation symbols, and no equal sign. So right here we have an example. We have our numbers, we have our variables, and we have our operation symbols. And then what is the purpose of a variable? So in math, variables are a placeholder in an expression. And then what does it mean to evaluate? So to evaluate, we're solving or substituting values in and then simplifying the expression. So we have evaluate the following expressions when x equals -3 and y equals 5. So -3 and 5 are our numbers. So we're going to plug it into our variables and then make sure we use parentheses. So that's pretty important. So we have negative, and then instead of x, we're going to write the value, so -3. So two negatives make positive, so this is just a +3. Number 2, again, we're substituting in, so we have -3 in parentheses, and then -5. So -3 minus 5, that is -8. Our next one, so we're plugging in, so we have 3 and then parenthesis -3 plus 2 times parenthesis 5. So 3 times -3 is -9, and then 2 times 5 is 10. So just remember our order of operations. So it's PEMDAS. So we had to do our multiplying first, and now we can do our addition. So -9 plus 10, that is just 1. Okay, flip the page. A couple more examples. So we have evaluate the following expressions when x equals 4, y equals -6, and z equals 3. So we're going to plug in for y. So y is -6. So make sure we are putting parentheses. So we have parentheses, -6, parentheses, squared. -6 squared is +36. So those parentheses, when we substitute in, make a difference in our answer. Our next one, now we have -y squared. So remember, only the y is being squared, so that negative is out front. So we have -6 squared. So if we take care of this, that gives us 36, but we have to bring that negative down. So -36 is this answer. Next one, we have y minus x, and then our numbers. So we have -6 minus 4. -6 minus 4, that is -10. Okay, so these symbols right here are absolute value. Okay, think of them as grouping symbols. You always take the positive value. So think of on a number line. So if we have a number line, we have -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. The absolute value of -2 means the distance -2 is from 0. So distance is 2. The absolute value of 2 means the distance +2 is from 0. So that's also 2. So basically what absolute value is finding the distance from 0. So all it does is make those numbers, those values positive, okay? So in this case, we have the absolute value of -6. Let's make this a little bit more rounded for our parentheses. minus x, which is 4, and then our absolute value symbol. So what we're going to do is we're going to do everything inside of our grouping symbols first. So negative 6 minus 4 is negative 10, but then we have those absolute value symbols. So here's that absolute value of negative 10. That is just positive 10. Okay, because what that means is negative 10 is 10 away from 0 on the number line. So it's a distance of 10. So that's what that means. So just think of it as making that answer positive. Okay, now in this question, we have our number. So we have 4 minus negative 6. Okay, so we have 4 minus negative 6. Two negatives make a positive. So this is 10. So the absolute value of 10 is still 10. Okay, so that's just making that positive. And then our next one, so we have a big fraction bar. So what we're going to do is we're going to evaluate the top and the bottom. So let's first plug everything in. So y is negative 6 minus 2 times z, which is 3, all over 5 times negative 6 minus 4 times 3. Okay. So on the top, we have negative 6 minus, and then I'm going to do this one first. So that becomes 6. On the bottom, we have 5 times negative 6, which is negative 30. And then negative 4 times 3, which is negative 12. Okay, now we have negative 6 minus 6, which is negative 12. On the bottom, we have negative 30 minus 12, which is negative 42. Okay, and if we reduce this fraction, we get both of these can be divided by negative 6. So this gets us 2 over 7. And that is the end of lesson 3. And here's the whole thing.